crocodiles and alligators have spent millions of years perfecting the art of being one of nature's most patient killers. Despite the efficiency, they take fewer human lives than you might expect. In fact, up until this story, there hadn't been a fatal alligator attack in Texas in almost 100 years. However, some people decide to test their luck and get a bit too close. Throw in some alcohol, and it can end precisely how you'd expect. 28-year-old Tommy Woodward had recently moved from St. Louis to Orange, Texas with his twin brother and was now working at a nearby shipyard. On the night of July 2, 2015, Tommy was doing what Tommy did on Thursday nights: shooting pool, playing shuffleboard, drinking beer, and having a good time at Burkhart's Marina, a beer and burger joint next to the Adams Bayou, a body of water which flows into the Sabine River. Although children in the area were known to swim in the bayou among 3 and 4 foot long alligators, one measuring 11 feet had been spotted there in the weeks prior, and a sign that read, "No swimming alligators," had been erected. However, as with many stories in the series, a few drinks were followed by 1 or 2 poor choices after. A waitress at Burkhart's Marina, Michelle Wright, was horrified when she spotted Tommy and his lady friend Victoria LeBlanc undressing by the water. After she pleaded with them not to enter, Tommy drunkenly shouted, "F that gator," and proceeded to jump in the water where he was swiftly attacked by the alligator.
She's screaming, "The alligator got him, the alligator got him." His body just floats up right here. He's floating around for a few minutes and then drug right back down.
Tommy's death by an alligator was the first in Texas since 1928. As the old saying goes, never bring a knife to a gunfight. Of all the stories in the series, these next 2 tales have to be some of the silliest. On Thursday, the 25th of July, 2013, 22-year-old Derek Mosley had burglary in his heart. Now, if someone asked me where I thought was the absolute worst place to attempt a robbery in America, my answer would definitely be a gun store. It's full of guns and, more importantly, people who know how to and are willing to use them. Regardless, Derek Mosley attempted to rob a gun store in Portland, armed with little more than a baseball bat. Looking to step up his weaponry, he stormed into discount gun sales, smashed a display window, grabbed an unloaded firearm, and attempted a heist. The store manager, however, as cool as a cucumber and with remarkable restraint, pulled out his own gun and ordered Mosley to drop his weapon. When police arrived, they found him unceremoniously pinned to the floor. For his efforts, though, he was charged with first-degree robbery and unlawful possession of a firearm. But at least he got away with his life. On the 22nd of October 2023, 28-year-old Freddie Mendoza of Redwood City attempted a similar stunt at a gun store in California. At around 2:30 p.m., armed with a hammer, Freddie entered the East Bay Firearms store on First Street in Livermore. According to other customers in the store that day, he was acting suspicious, wearing a medical face mask, and had his hooded sweatshirt up over his head. An eyewitness told police Mendoza attempted to rob the store by grabbing a firearm while armed with a hammer. However, in this case, unlike the last, it was to end exactly how you'd expect. According to a CBS article, the owner of the gun store fired 2 rounds at the robber and fatally wounded him. Although the would-be burglar didn't get his loot that day, when it comes to the prestigious Darwin Award, Freddie Mendoza was definitely a winner. Butterflies are not typically associated with death. Often admired but almost entirely harmless to humans, they don't bite, sting, or have any poison. However, for one Brazilian teenager, an encounter with a butterfly turned into something far deadlier than anyone could have imagined, although entirely self-inflicted. In February of 2025, teenager 14-year-old Davy Nunes Moreira was taken to hospital in the small Brazilian village of Planalto after complaining to his father that he had developed a limp in his leg and had started to be sick. Although telling his dad he had simply hurt his leg while playing, after his sickness grew worse, He had no choice but to admit what he had done. According to an article in the New York Post, Davey admitted to having mixed the remains of a dead butterfly in water and injecting the liquid into his leg. The obvious question you might be asking is why. According to the same New York Post article, Brazilian authorities believed the stunt may have been part of a bizarre social media challenge doing the rounds in South America. Regardless of why he did it, Davey's condition only got worse, and after being transferred to another hospital, he died of his illness after 7 days of agony. Dr. Luiz Fernando told a Brazilian news site that Moreira's death could have been an embolism, an infection, or an allergic reaction. I've tried to find the results of the autopsy but was unable to find it. Regardless, we can all safely agree that injecting dead butterflies into your leg is not a good idea. Some people ride in the back seat, others ride in the front. But in 2019, a 20-year-old woman in Virginia chose to ride a mattress on the roof. Needless to say, it did not end well. On Friday, the 23rd of September 2016, 20-year-old Sydney Gonzalez and 41-year-old Norma Canales were driving in a 2006 Chevrolet Express van when they spotted a mattress lying curbside in the small town of Haymarket, Prince William County, Virginia. Deciding they wanted it, they were presented with a problem: how to get the mattress from point A to point B. However, where there's a will, there's a way. Not sure why it couldn't go inside the van, but for whatever reason, they placed it on the roof. Without a rope, 20-year-old Sydney Gonzalez would ride on top of the mattress to keep it in place, and 41-year-old Norma Canales would drive the van. To no one's surprise, however, this configuration would end exactly how you'd expect. At around 6:30 a.m. on Waverley Farm Drive, according to an ABC article, unsurprisingly, the mattress slipped off and Gonzalez fell to her death with it. Although the police acknowledged the stunt was not a joyride and alcohol wasn't a factor, for her part in driving the van, Norma Canales was charged with reckless driving and driving without a license. Interestingly, a similar event took place here in New Zealand in late 2024, although, in this case, joyriding and alcohol were definitely a factor. At around 9 p.m. on the 27th of December 2024, 33-year-old Rafe Cotter was riding a mattress strapped to a vehicle driven by an unnamed friend as they embarked on an unofficial fresh-aired open-top tour of Napier, a small city in the north of New Zealand. Tragically though, the tour was cut short when the vehicle hit a corner and Mr. Cotter, clinging to the mattress, tumbled off. Although he survived the fall, he was left in a critical condition and efforts to revive him were unsuccessful and he died shortly after. For her part, the 23-year-old driver was charged with excess breath alcohol and reckless driving causing death. That's all the stories for today. Let me know in the comments who was today's ultimate Darwin Award winner. If you enjoyed the video, I'd love it if you subscribed and joined me for the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.